Well done. All right. So let's just settle in to your meditation posture and just try and settle the mind. So however things have been for you today, whether you've been busy or still or quiet or however it's been, just allow your mind to settle, and for the next half hour, take a journey inside. So if you are sitting in the at the desk and your feet are flat on the floor, have them in a parallel position and really try and feel the earth through the soles of your feet. And the sits bones are raised slightly. Particularly if you're in the cross-legged position, because it really helps to stop you falling back onto your sacrum. Your shoulders are aligned with your hips. And just imagine your spine is lengthening. And imagine it's a string of pearls of light. And it stretches all the way from the base, all the way up through the crown of the head. The head is very slightly tipped forward, eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose. And the tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, and just relax the jaw. Now bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the nose, the area around the mouth. Relax the back of the head. Relax the ears, the inner ear, the back of the tongue. Release any tension in the back of the neck. Allow your shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and the limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And then bring the mind to the breath. Just noticing any sensations as you're breathing in and out on the outside of the nostrils. And then just inside, you might feel the sensation of the air flowing over the hairs inside the nostrils. And the mind has to be quite quiet to notice that one. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. So try not to follow with the mind. And then noticing what's arising in the mind this evening. Perhaps it's different to yesterday evening. And just allow the thoughts to bubble up, the feelings to bubble up, and try not to judge them, criticize, have opinions, get involved in a story. Just allow them to be there. And you can kind of observe them like an objective observer, like a scientist. And then again, as we do every day, bring to mind all those people of your life. And has anyone in any of these groups shifted or changed or moved backwards and forwards shows you how unstable we are. So bring to mind all your loved ones, your best friends, near and dear ones. And then there's those people that you are a little bit more reticent around, perhaps. And then there's your strangers. And trying to remember that they're all the same as you and me in their wish to be happy, their wish to be free from suffering, and in having this unbelievable capacity for an enlightened mind. So then we'll do this meditation for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So just remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is, it's basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so we can change it by creating positivity with our mind instead. So we do this practice by applying the 4 opponent powers. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being in this day, in this life, and in all of your past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. So we know from our present suffering, we don't want it. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, and think I'm sick of this suffering. And then what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need the Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So you can imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine, if you wish, this is the mind of your teacher, your Lama, manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, blissful, radiant white light. And he's wearing these beautiful robes in the Royal Indian style, and he's wearing jewelry all in all different parts of his body. And he has, as you can see, this aura of light around his head and around his body, and he's sitting on this lotus and a moon disk, and he's got this beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He's got this sweet red mouth, and his hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. In order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon others. So those beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because they will suffer as a result of the harm they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from your heart. From his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibelwa Sutokaya Mibelwa Supokaya Mibelwa Anarakta Mibelwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibelwa Sutokaya Mibelwa Supokaya Mibelwa Anarakta Mibelwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibelwa Sutokaya Mibelwa Supokaya Mibelwa Anarakta Mibelwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibelwa Sutokaya Mibelwa Supokaya Mibelwa Anarakta Mibelwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibelwa Sutokaya Mibelwa Supokaya Mibelwa Anarakta Mibelwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibelwa Sutokaya Mibelwa Supokaya Mibelwa Anarakta Mibelwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibelwa Sutokaya Mibelwa Supokaya Mibelwa Anarakta Mibelwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And the next is a purification of the speech, and Vajrasattva now very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibelwa Sutokaya Mibelwa Supokaya Mibelwa Anarakta Mibelwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibelwa Sutokaya Mibelwa Supokaya Mibelwa Anarakta Mibelwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dido Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dido Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And so the next is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as, remember when we walk into a pitch black room and we flick on the switch, that light instantly dispels the darkness in the room. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness and anger, if there's any violence and depression and resentment and jealousy and bitterness, are all instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibowa sutokaya mibowa sipokaya mibowa Anarakta mibowa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutta vajra bala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, and think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion and creativity and expansion, intelligence. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And you can imagine this time Vajrasattva very happily sending light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibowa sutokaya mibowa supokaya mibowa anarakta mibowa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibowa sutokaya mibowa supokaya mibowa Anarakta mibowa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibowa sutokaya mibowa supokaya mibowa Anarakta mibowa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibowa sutokaya mibowa supokaya mibowa Anarakta mibowa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibowa sutokaya mibowa supokaya mibowa Anarakta mibowa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibowa sutokaya mibowa supokaya mibowa Anarakta mibowa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mibowa sutokaya mibowa supokaya mibowa Anarakta mibowa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe. So now feel you are completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and really crucial step in the purification process. And here we make a determination, we make a decision to not harm with our body, speech, and mind. And without making this kind of decision, we're going to just keep doing the same thing over and over again because we're human and we have habits. And this determination, this aspiration to not harm is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So just think of something that you can commit to working with over the next 2 days until we meet again on Monday. So even if it's something that you just think about for maybe a couple of minutes or 1 minute even, and rejoice in your progress, maybe make a task a little bit more difficult. Sort of move on to things that are slightly harder for you to work with, to challenge ourselves, or not. Because this determination to not do again is what gives us strength to change. And Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think my guru's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just meditate there for a little moment. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So we think prayers for His Holiness Dalai Lama. May he stay around for a very, very long time, forever. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, O Tub Shu Chang Jin Jam Gan Galloway, Tenzin Kyang Pelaway, Konzo Dog Porze, Chog Sum Kurway Leg Mon to Drum, Pa Dog Sog Dulaje, Gondu Jab Tin Shog. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Shara, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody. Good night. Have a wonderful weekend. Lots of love. Sleep well and sweet dreams. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday.